seemed like one of those nights when Sidney was on his game.
Well, it was hard to contain him and Malkin, there was no question. You know, they got to change the channel. It's the third game, you know, that we lost in overtime. Yeah, they were good. I mean, you know, we don't get to see Sidney Crosby and Malkin very often, and when we do it up close and personal, they're pretty dynamic. I thought they can do some great things, you know, and it was like the third goal, Malkin, you know, we're all over him, puck, and he finds it, and can do things in small spaces as Sid can. They're great players. They made a play. They made the plays that they needed to make. You know, I looked at the whole game. I thought we got a great start. Obviously, we scored right off the bat, and you know, you get some. We sort of went after them. I thought first period, decent period. I thought it was. If it would have been a second later, it wouldn't have been as good a period. But I thought, you know, even in the first period, in special teams, where you know we got to go power play goal tonight. I didn't think our power play was executing at a very, very high rate, but we got a goal. That's what happens sometimes. I was happy the other days we got lots of chances and then you get a goal. I thought the penalty kill did a great job against a pretty dynamic power play. They could do a lot of different things and show you a lot of different looks. And then, you know, obviously we had the lead and then they tied it up and then losing in overtime. But I really thought that we got on our heels in the third and it was hard to get going. They kept coming at us and it is tough. They take those long shifts and they can wear you down. And a lot of stuff that they did probably in the first half of the game got a lot of their chances for the things that we did. I thought early we had some bad changes. We turned the puck over way too many times. So Pecs had to be really good. They probably want the goal to start the second period. That wasn't exactly where I want to start the second period, but overall I made some big saves and we had a chance to win in overtime. JP hit the crossbar, puck in the crease. We just didn't get to it.
3 home games in a row, 3 overtime losses. Still getting points, but what type of taste does put in your mouth?
Well, it's it's one of those where you know you got the point, and you know getting points in every. If we get points in every game, 1 or 2 points every game all year, that'd be great. But you know, we've played some good teams, and we got points out of them. At the same time, I'd like to probably be on the 2 side a little more often, especially the last 3 games. But at the same time, a point is a lot better than a loss. You know, you lose the game in the third period after being up by a goal. It'd probably be a lot worse of a taste in our mouth than losing overtime.
You did 3 different times though, and they came back each
Yeah.
time. Did they come at you more when they were down, or?
Well, you know, one thing that I thought they did a really good job is right after we scored, that the next shift they really had, they pushed forward, and then, you know, they know that they got an explosive team. They got to come at you. You know, so and then, you know, tonight they're big guys, put a lot of minutes and did some great things. I thought if I was a fan today, I think there's a little bit of everything. It was pretty good game from an entertainment standpoint. I think you had everything from some of the best players in the world playing. You had some physical hits. You had some emotions running high. You had some breakaways. You had change in emotion. You had all those things that make sport great. So, but I'm a little bit concerned with us. We're going on the road. We're going to have to tighten up some things, and I need some of our players to step up a little bit more. Some guys have fallen off from some early success, and they got to get it going again.
Played a little bit more physical, seemed to stick up for each other a little bit more than did.
Well, yeah, I thought the guys pulled up together. I mean, they played hard. I mean, you know, if you think the Penguins are pure skill, they get some gritty, grinding type of guys, and it was pretty physical. There's some big hits. There's some, you know, yeah, they drove the net very hard. They pushed back pretty well, which is, you know, they got a lot of good elements. I think Ray Sherrill's done an excellent job of filling the holes. They're still missing a guy like Stahl and Mikhailuk. They're pretty big pieces for them. So they're an elite team, and the good thing is we've been playing elite teams. I think Washington's going to be there from the East. I think Pitt's going to be there from the East. You know, and we got points against them. Obviously, we'd like to have 2. You know, so the teams we've been playing have been good teams. I've been looking at the league, and we're going into Dallas. I don't know if they've lost yet.
What was your thoughts on Malkin's hit on 2-2?
Well, you know, from the bench where I was, I couldn't I could not see it at all. And be honest with you, I did not look at it after the game or between periods. But everybody was said that he left his feet, and that's why Kevin Klein came over, and then all of a sudden I think it was Englund from them came flying in there, and then we get the roughing minor. I just didn't quite understand that one. So
Did the referee give a good explanation?
he said he roughed Malkin, so obviously. But I couldn't see it where I am too short behind the bench.
When Ryan's out of the game, does that force Shea to play a little bit differently, to sort of maybe a little more defensive in how he things?
No, I don't think so. I think what Suits brings. I mean, Suits is a tremendous defenseman. I mean, people don't realize how good he is, and when you get those two guys on the ice, it's he's sort of the Duncan Keith of our team. He can do things because of his legs. He's such a great skater. He's one of the best skaters in the league. He's got what I call great escapability. He can play forever. He seems to, even when he's tired, he can keep going. And so his game has a lot of those subtleties and a lot more polish than maybe and Shea's a loud player, if you will. He's a great leader. He gets you big hits. He's got the big shot. All those things that you love Shea, but Suits is, we miss him. There's no question. He's a big part of our team and our lineup, and it will be some problems. But I thought the guys that stepped up. I think Frankie Bullion played well. I thought O'Brien stepped up well. I think Kleiner did. Kleiner stepped up. So everybody's stepping up. Alex Salzer did a really good job for being out for as long as he has. I think he's just prepared himself as a real pro, and I didn't mind his game at all. I thought he was pretty solid. So we just need more people just to have their AA game on.
Colin did play a ton of minutes, but he looked good when he was out there on the assist throughout the double twist. Are you starting to see from him what you maybe wanted after that first year?
Well, with Colin, the biggest thing with a young player, the one thing I want from Colin is make sure that he's skating. When he's skating, and I mean skating on both sides of the puck, not only when you get it that you skate, but when you don't have it, you're skating. And when he's skating and being that big force, because he's a physical force, he can really be a real good player. There's still inconsistency in his game that I'd like to see just tighten up a little bit. And he'll have to do it because we're going on the road and they don't have all the matchups. So he's going to have to get it done. I thought tonight, actually JP, Marty, and that line was okay. They were okay. They created a few chances. Willie got an assist on Hornquist's goal. But we've got some work to do. There's no question. We're getting points, but our game is not as tight as I'd like it. And we played some good teams that made us look not so tight.
You mentioned turnovers. Was that y'all, or was it more Pittsburgh getting in the passing lanes?
Well, a little bit of both. When you turn the puck over, usually it's you're not doing it quick enough, or your decision making isn't really sharp. So I give them a little credit, but we have to be a little bit smarter. There's sometimes that we turn the pucks over, forcing things that aren't there. I mean, I thought that was part of the thing. Even on the power play, we were not executing very highly until probably the power play that got us the goal. That was the group that executed, and that was Erat with Dumont and Ward. We got the goal there. So there's parts of our game we just got to correct. That's all it is. But we've got points in every game, and that's a good thing.
Have you seen an East-West game with this much animosity?
No, not for a while. I mean, usually they're a little subtler, but today there was. I mean, this was you'd think that we were in the same division, battling it. It's. I think probably. There's Ray Shiro probably had them hyped up a little bit because I'm sure they're Ray's very popular with their team, and they'd like to get them a win in Nashville. So they came with a lot of juice, and they got great leadership in Sid and Malkin, and they drive that team, and they did tonight.